All right, welcome back, first graders. So yesterday we started the story, Mr. Putter and Tabby Drop the Ball. And we learned that Mr. Putter and Tabby are old and they take a lot of naps, but they're getting kind of bored with that. So they wanted something to be more active. So they decided they're going to try to play baseball. So I recounted or I retold the big ideas of the story so far, who the story is about, and what is happening in the story. So our chapter for today is called The Team. So I see Mr. Putter on the phone. Oh, look, he even has a baseball calendar in the background. So that's a clue that he really enjoys baseball. I see his neighbor, Mrs. Teaberry. Looks like she's in a race. See her with her dog, and it looks like she's talking on the phone. So I wonder if Mr. Putter called Mrs. Teaberry. Okay, so we see Mr. Putter on the phone. We see Mrs. Teaberry on the phone. And we see Mr. Putter and Tabby looking very content or happy. So I'm wondering if that means that they found a team to play on. Right, and then chapter 3 is called The Dandies. So my prediction is that Mr. Putter's going to talk to Mrs. Teaberry, and Mrs. Teaberry is going to find a team for Mr. Putter to play on. So as I go through the chapter, if I get more information, I'm going to change my prediction. And I also want to pay attention to how the characters are feeling. And if I see something in the text that helps me know that, I'm going to change my voice to sound like the character. All right, so chapter 2, The Team. Mr. Putter found his mitt. Now all we need is a team, he told Tabby. Mr. Putter called his friend and neighbor, Mrs. Teaberry. Mrs. Teaberry would know about a team. She was very sporty. She even walked the dog-a-thon with her dog, Zeke. Of course there's a team, said Mrs. Teaberry. It's called the Yankee Doodle Dandies. Am I too old to play? Asked Mr. Putter. Heavens no, said Mrs. Teaberry, handing Zeke a sniffy bone. You will feel young on that team. So notice when there was an exclamation point, I changed my voice to sound excited. Of course there's a team. And when there was a question mark, I changed my voice to make it sound like I was asking a question. Am I too old to play? So pay attention to the punctuation and then change your voice to sound like the characters. Will my knees feel young on that team? Asked Mr. Putter. You are not too old and neither am I, said Mrs. Teaberry. We'll both play. Mr. Putter hung up the phone. I hope I'm not too old, he told Tabby. Tabby just purred. To her, Mr. Putter was perfect. All right, so my prediction was that Mrs. Teaberry would know a team for Mr. Putter to play on. And my prediction was correct. And I practiced changing my voice to sound like the characters. So when the character was excited, I read it like I was excited. When the character was asking a question, I read it like I was asking that question. So paying attention to the punctuation and changing your voice to sound like the character is important. All right, so if I was going to recount or retell the big ideas from chapter 2, The Team, I could say that Mr. Putter called his neighbor and his friend, Mrs. Teaberry, and she knew a team that he could play baseball on, and she even decided to play baseball with him. So chapter 3 is called The Dandies. So we'll find out tomorrow what chapter 3 is all about.